The quickening speed of all our growing plants has raised the stress levels on the crew as we hustle to implement the farm plan that was laid out a long 6 months ago. The sun is high and hot right now, and all the heat-loving plants in the propagation house and on the hardening off benches begin to look a little stressed as well. Here are some good-looking sweet pepper plants that are being transplanted into a high tunnel bed that is simultaneously getting stripped of its final spinach harvest. This is an ideal situation for retaining the maximum amount of soil life while switching crops. The living roots of the spinach surrender their microbial and fungal connections back into the soil, where they can immediately go to work with the pepper transplant roots. Kelsey, Sammy, and Sadie have perfected this harvest and transplant dance as they transform this production bed from one crop to the next. Out in the field, the blueberries have almost finished flowering, and by the time you see this, the bird exclusion netting will be up, and the green blueberry fruit will just be starting to show a tint of blue. The outdoor plantings are being harvested in waves as each succession of early spring plantings reaches its peak. We can only wish that a harvest could go this fast, but in reality the careful attention to harvest quality and maintaining the sustainable pace required for a full day's productive labor truly pay off in the long term. Our faithful customers and strong crew retention rate are testament to that. At the far end of the field, we are trying another tactic on the Canadian thistle infestation that threatens to overwhelm the asparagus patch. Hand pulling was taking too much time. The thistle was happily shrugging aside a thick straw mulch, and the situation was becoming critical. Amelia and Ellen came up with the idea of using the flail mower in what we call scalp mode to repeatedly mow the worst half of the bed right down to the soil surface. Repeated at 2-week intervals, the mowing appears to have knocked back the thistle quite heavily, while still allowing 7 to 10 days of asparagus spear harvest in between mowings. And now for some shocking footage of an Italian spading machine tilling up the soil on our no-till farm. This part of the field has been choked with quackgrass and crabgrass for several years, and attempts at both solarization with clear plastic and occultation with silage tarps has been fruitless. You may be able to see and hear the spader when it hits a patch of grass roots and begins to hop around a bit. Unlike a churning rototiller, the slower, more deliberate digging action of the spader is supposed to be less destructive to soil organisms. In my experience, it was the overuse of this tool that prevented us from building organic matter in our soils. We used to spade each bed up to 4 times per year, so to use it once in 7 years is a huge improvement. See Ellen's hand attempting to grab the old bed top and then easily sliding into the spaded soil halfway up to her forearm. In parting, it is hard to resist admiring the chocolate cake texture of the spaded ground, but it is a process that burns up organic matter and obliterates the fungal threads that are key to our system. They will thankfully regrow during the course of this season, and the natural balance of fungi and bacteria will gradually return to this soil. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.